Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you my go-to lighting setup for a studio portrait. So this is a lighting setup I use on most of my portrait work, from a close-up headshot to like a full body portrait, and most of the time I use this setup. I've been trying many different type of lighting setup, like a large diffusion panel, a super large softbox, or a very sophisticated lighting setup like a 4 lights, 5 lights, or like a beauty dish, V-flat, things like that. They all have their place, but this particular lighting setup which I'm going to show you is the most versatile. It allows you to create many different type of looks with just minimal amount of adjustment. And no matter you looking for those like a dark, moody, contrasty look, or you want those like a bright, natural, high-key look, and you can get all these looks with this particular lighting setup. So let's take a look at the gear first. Let's talk about the key light. The key light is powered by a Profoto D2 1000 watt second light. I choose 1000 watt light because when I bought it, I just want to be more future proof, but end up I realized I barely use more than a quarter of the power. So if you only have a 500 watt light, it's totally fine. So the softbox is a 4-foot octa softbox. The reason I choose octabox is because I just like the shape of the catch light, and this is especially important when you're doing headshot, because for headshot usually people gotta first pay attention to the eyes, so the shape of the catch light is very important. And for me, octabox just gave the best shape in terms of catch light. And also this softbox comes with the grid. The grid is the important component for this lighting setup, because it can make the setup more versatile and cover different looks. If you need to make the background darker, control like more of a light spill, then the grid will allow you to do that without using extra light stand or gear or anything, and then just simply add the grid on. If you want also like a more smooth, soft, bright lighting, just simply take off the grid and so you get another look. Of course, you also need to adjust the light angle, so that way you can make sure you can either let more light to hit the background or away from the background, so that's how you control the tuning of the background. Okay, so then the size is like a 40 inches, like a 4-foot octabox. The reason I choose 4-foot is like for the octabox, the most three common sizes are 3, 4, and 5-foot octabox. The 4-foot is kind of fall between. It's kind of like a good compromise between like a softness and the size. If you're shooting a small studio with a lower seating like the one I have, then 4-foot is a perfect size. Of course, certain situation you might find out this like a 4-foot octabox is not large enough. You need more coverage, and that's would lead to us to the second light. The field light, instead of putting on the opposite side of the subject, of the opposite side of the key light, I attach the field light underneath the key light. The reason to do that is like this: if you do the field light this way, the field light actually works as two functions. It can fill the shadow like the normal field light will do. In the meantime, it also can work as a part of the tension of the key light. So these two lights combined together and form is like a larger light. And then the benefit of doing this is you can allow you to adjust the light level from the top part and the bottom part, so that allow you to control the contrast and meantime cover a large area. If you don't need a large softbox, you want to take a benefit of the smaller softbox that we'll do, like for example like a close-up headshot, you can simply turn off the field light, and then so that way you cover more like scenarios. The softbox I use for the field light is a 2x3 softbox. In terms of size, it doesn't have to be exactly the same size. If you have a 3x3 or 1x3, it will work just fine. Because the benefit if you have a separate light is you can easily adjust the power up and down, so you have full control of the power output. I bet many of you may ask like how exactly you attach the second light to the same light stand as the key light. What I did is I used a super clamp with a right angle pin. And I'll leave a link on the comment. I know you guys want to know exactly what it looks like, where to buy it. What I want to say is like you don't have to buy exactly the same brand. I'm not sponsored by these like a manufacturer or anything. As long as it does the same thing, and there's so many different types of super clamps, you probably already have some in your studio. It's just the right angle pin. It's just like easily allow you to clamp the light anywhere you want. So that's how I attach the second light, the field light, to the key light. So the way we put the key light this way, and actually might lead us to an issue, which is like because the key light and the field light is exactly the same angle, sometimes you might find out the other side of your subject's face is too dark. So that's why we need a reflector in this light setup as well. So the next one is the reflector. The reflector is on a separate light stand. And there are different type of reflectors. The one I use is actually a DIY one. I use a Matthew gel holder, basically just like a metal frame, and then I went to Home Depot buy those like silver styrofoam, I don't know how to call that, and then I just wrap around it and tape it there, and then attach the thing to the light stand through a grip head. So the grip head allow me to precisely adjust position, and then once I tighten it, it holds the reflector to that particular position and then not moving anywhere. For me, this is the best way to do it, because the other option of reflector that we have, those like a collapsible reflector, they're kind of wobbly, and then like it's kind of hard to control them. Sometimes you can buy those like a reflector holder. They make them a little bit more rigid, but the thing is the whole setup is just too clumsy. The other one is that there's like those like a curved silver reflector that you can put underneath like your subject's face, and then many people use it for headshot. They're great reflectors and they get the job done. But the thing is, I just don't like the catch light. It have this like a curved line under people's eyes. It looks very unnatural to me. The other thing is this one thing is take a lot of space. The one I use allow me to quickly fold it away, put it to the side, and not taking much space at all. So when you're shooting in a small studio, and then space is very important. And oh, I forgot to mention, there's 3 light setup. Like other than the key light is powered by the AC, and the other one is battery powered. The reason for that is I want a limited amount of. I want to keep the cable as the least amount as possible, because if they could be all over the floor and then people get tripped over, you know, things like that. I still need AC power for the key lights, because the key light is I need to power the largest softbox, so usually needs more power, and then connect to the AC power just allow me to shoot the whole session without having to worry about, okay, gotta run out of battery or something. The other thing is that when you do those like action shots, so you need to take a series of shots, and in a very short of time, so you require not just the light to be like a flash, the high power, at the meantime, need to like a very fast recycling time. So usually AC power light give you more advantage versus the battery powered light. Okay, then the last one is the kicker light. The kicker light is instead of using a light stand, I just attach to the auto pole, which is holding the background paper. So that way save me another light stand. And then I just attach to a 1x3 softbox to it. Then I use a grid. The reason I use grid for the kicker light is because kicker light is coming behind the model, sometimes it might accidentally pointing at the camera, so you gotta have flare. So with the grid, it just like kills the light spill, so you're less likely to have a flare coming from the kicker light. Of course, kicker light is a very personal preference, and even like for the same photographer, sometimes you want it, sometimes you don't want it. But the thing is that you put the light there, it's not taking any extra light stand, not taking any extra space. It's just like attached to the auto pole, and then if you want it, you turn it on. If you don't want it, you turn it off. And same as reflector, if you want to add more, fill up the shadow more, you add the reflector. If you don't like it, move it away. So this is why this setup is so versatile. It just allows you to quickly getting many different lighting effects, and without too much hassle. The other thing is that the key lights on the wind-up light stand, so I can easily raise and lower the light, and that allows me to shoot like a different type of posing, like standing, sitting on the chair, or sitting on the ground, and then I can easily adjust the light up and down. By moving the distance between the key light and field light also allow me to adjust the size of this combined light. So like consider, if you imagine these 2 lights together as one large light, by moving these lights closer or far away from each other, I basically adjust the size of the light. So yeah, as you can imagine, because this lighting setup can do all these things, easily moving around all the light stands on the wheel, so you can easily move them around, adjust angles, adjust up and down, adjust the power of each light, turn it off if I don't need it, add a reflector if I need. If I don't, I just move it away. So for this particular reason, that's why I gave this light setup so much power, allow you to achieve so many different looks, and with different type of framing. Like no matter you do a high fashion shoot, or you do a family shoot, you do like a headshot, it just covers all the scenario for you. It works for me, and I believe it works for you. Okay, so we've done enough talking about this lighting setup. I bet you must be very interested to see, okay, exactly how this lighting setup works in the real photo shoot. And that's what I'm going to show you next. And so I'm going to play a behind the scene video, and then you can see how exactly this lighting setup works and what's the final result look like.